What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome to Game Mode Superiority. So what this is going to be, it's a live series, so I play live for every one of these episodes, and I work my way through each one of the standard modes. So we're going to start with Team Deathmatch and work our way down the list. The trick here is, I'm not allowed to move on to the next game mode until I lead the lobby as well as win the game. If I lead the lobby but my team loses, then I have to stick with that game mode, and that's the thing with this. I'm not allowed to advance until I lead the lobby as well as win the game. Now, just to make this a little bit more interesting and a little bit more difficult, I'm going to limit myself so I'm not allowed to use the same payload to complete a challenge once. So if I complete an episode, or if I complete one of the game modes with the Steel Dragon, for instance, I can no longer use the Steel Dragon. I'm not going to limit my traits just because that just gets a little too complicated, but I'm going to limit my payloads a little bit. And also, I'm going to limit my gun. I'm not allowed to use the same gun 2 episodes in a row. Or I'm not allowed to use the same gun at all more than once in the series. So that'll bring some variety to this series, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. We've done this in a lot of previous CODs before, and I think this will be a nice bridge into my live commentary challenge series, which will start to come out from now on. The thing is, like, the tip videos are still going strong. There's still going to be lots of tip videos, but there are going to be more live commentaries mixed in here. I know live commentaries aren't for everyone, but I'm going to try to really bridge the gap there and focus a bit more on my mindset and everything as I'm playing. So I'm not going to take this as seriously as my live lessons series, where that's just like all about helping you guys improve. But I'm going to try and find that balance between just like having fun and trying to complete a challenge, and also explaining what I'm doing and try to get into things in a way that is going to be helpful for you guys, as well as hopefully a little bit entertaining. So let's hop into our very first game of this episode, or this series, I guess, on Team Deathmatch, and we'll see how we do. Alright guys, here we go. We got Mayday, and I did get into a game late. That's another thing I didn't mention. If I get into a game late, then I'll just play that game out, and then I won't actually use that for the series. But yeah, we got in a game late, and we actually had some pretty decent people in this lobby, so we'll see how things end up going here. I kind of want to use the Raw, just because usually on Mayday, you're going to get like mid to somewhat longer range gunfights. I know you can play it up close, but that's just typically what I find here. Another thing that I was going to mention earlier, like at the beginning for the intro, but I might as well mention now, is... Oh, that bounce shot, though. I'm going to go for it. Most people go here. Yeah, another thing I was going to mention is I don't lobby shop, I don't cherry pick gameplays for any of my live commentary series like this. What I do, like, what you see is what you get with me. And I really pride myself in having that sort of, like, live series and stuff like that, where I don't cherry pick stuff, I don't lobby shop. Like, if I get into a difficult game against difficult people, you see that. If I struggle really bad and I have a terrible game, you guys see that. But generally, I feel like I'm a pretty consistent player, and you're not going to see that too often, which is why sometimes people do accuse me of just, like, lobby shopping or cherry picking gameplays, but it doesn't happen. I just don't do it. So you'll likely see some below average gameplay throughout this series at some point as well. That was a terrible move on my part there. I should have used cover to my advantage, but I got a little bit overconfident, I think, because I had been doing so well that life, so it happens, it happens. You learn from your mistakes. Realize that you're not invincible. That's a big thing. Oh, crap, I should have been paying more attention. I knew that gunfight went down just based on my headset, but I didn't actually see on the minimap who won that gunfight. I didn't realize my teammate died there, so... Oh, well. Oh, crap. Is there a dude? There's probably a dude up above me. Oh, crap. I think that was a sniper, so... Is that the same dude? Yeah, that was the same dude. Oh, he scared me. Alright, they should be flanking around this way. I could shoot that UAV down. It's all about score. It's not so much about... Where is that UAV? Maybe I won't shoot it down? Oh, it's gone now. Okay. It was probably already flying away when I saw that. There we go. Much better use of cover. Who wants some? Alright, they're definitely spawning this way. Just paying attention where my teammates are spawning. That's a huge thing that I see a lot of players overlook when they're playing Team Deathmatch, is they're always trying to predict the enemy spawn and like look where the enemies are, which is still a good strategy. Like, look for the pockets on the map where you don't have teammates. But a big thing that people overlook, I find, is not paying attention to where your teammates are spawning. When your teammate spawns somewhere, that almost definitely means that is a relatively safe area. There aren't going to be enemies around there, or generally aren't going to be enemies around there, and you're usually going to be safe to assume that that's the enemies are going to be spawning like on the opposite side of where your teammate just spawned, or at least somewhat towards the opposite side. So yeah, very, very underrated aspect of spawn prediction is paying attention to where your teammates are spawning, not just your enemies. All right, I'm not going to be able to win this, I don't think. Oh, baby, just barely. Can I take the sniper on, though? Yeah, we can. Jump shots are the sniper's worst enemy. Oh, crap, I've only got 26 rounds left on a raw? I've been spraying and praying. I am totally allowed to pick up guns, by the way, guys. There's nothing against that, and if I pick up a gun, that doesn't mean I can never use that gun for the rest of the series. It's just the gun that I'm primarily using that I'm not going to be able to use once I complete an episode with it. But we got our warden up there. I suck because I missed my shots. Got our warden up now. Now we just got to make sure we keep buildings clear. Okay, that thing's already destroyed. I'm going to challenge you. Oh, God. Oh, God, the aim, though. Oh, the sloppy jump shot. Oh, I just made that same mistake I made earlier. You don't want to do that. Like, it didn't get me killed or anything, but you still got to recognize when you're making mistakes, even if nothing bad happens of it. Oh, that recoil, though. Okay, hello. I think it's time to pull out the old steel dragon. Let's get all dragony on some fools. Oh, crap. I called it in at a terrible time. Uh-oh. Ah! Oh, your reactive armor has no effect on my teammate shooting you with a launcher. And me also helping him with my steel dragon. It should be spawning over in this corner area thing here, right? Right? Enemies? No, we flipped them. Sweet, I got one whole kill with that. That's okay, though. That's one of the reasons I tend to avoid using power weapons as well, or payloads, weapon payloads. Okay, I saw that dude, but Ace the Camper's got to sit in the corner. Wait for his easy kill. I was just regrouping. I was just getting my thoughts together, so calm down. I'm not as terrible as you might think. I hope they didn't spawn behind me, but they might have. Oh, a little risky, but sometimes you gotta risk it if you want the biscuit. Alright, we got this dude. Oh, crap. We'll let him go, because he's likely gonna clash with my teammates by the time I get to him if I chase him, so it's, I feel like I'd be better off pushing towards their spawn and potentially getting several kills, or at least putting myself in several situations where I can get kills. I made a bad move there again, but I think I would have been dead regardless there, because he had the eraser. But I think we're doing quite strong here. I don't think there's anyone to worry about, but at the same time, also throughout the series, I always try to avoid looking at my minimap. Oh god, that was awful. That was awful. That was awful too. I always try to avoid looking at my minimap because I don't want to like spoil the surprise. I want to keep that suspense up. Like, I don't know, maybe I have a teammate that's going off and I haven't really noticed, but I think we're in a good position right now. I gotta work on my accuracy a little bit. I think I'm just jump shotting a little too much. Actually, he probably jumped up here, didn't he? I'm jump shotting a bit too much, and it's at the cost of accuracy, which isn't good. All right, so we gotta keep my boots on the ground a little bit more often here. Okay, maybe let's be scared. We'll be fine, right? I need this teammate to push up, so at least he covers an angle for me. There we go. Okay, we just flip spawns. Woo! Yeah, pay attention where your teammates are spawning. Alright, we probably should call this in, because I know people get upset when I don't call my streaks in right away, and I've probably been holding on to that UAV for a bit. I know. It's one of my weaknesses in my game, but I often get just too focused on what's going on in front of me, and sometimes I forget to do things that I call streaks in. Well, lower streaks, at least. Oh, baby. Is that other dude alive? No? Okay. Well, we want to get up here and get into position. Is he chasing me? Oh, no. I don't know who just shot me. This guy knows I'm here, though, doesn't he? No, I have a suppressor. He won't know. I'm not going to go back up there, because they're going to... That one guy I killed from the stairs is probably thinking that I'm camping up there, so... You don't want to go back there, because then you're being essentially predictable. Whew! Oh, no. Get me out of here. Ah! I missed, but we still got our warden. That was not a good way to handle that situation, but that's okay. It worked. This is going to be my drone packet? No, it's not. I don't know where you came from. I thought I had teammates watching mid. We got time for another Steel Dragon. Let's do it. Still not a huge fan of the Steel Dragon, but whatever. Whatever. Not going to complain about it. We're going to use it. We're going to use it well. Where are you? You must die, along with your teammate. And I don't even think that counters that turret there. I would have been done no matter what. All right, 2 more kills, baby. 2 more kills. That Trinity should probably finish it off. But then again, it's a Trinity. Is that actually going to get kills? All right, did we do it? Did we lead the lobby and win the game? Absolutely. Absolutely. By like 2,000 score. No problem whatsoever. I didn't anticipate Team Deathmatch should be that difficult. It's a nice, like, warm-up game to get us into the series here. Pretty good game, though. 43 and 11. A few more deaths than I usually like, but that's okay. Yeah, so next episode is going to be free-for-all. And with free-for-all with this series, basically all I have to do is win the game. If I win the game, then I complete it. So I'm fairly confident in that, but you guys will see that on Wednesday, because I'm planning to upload this Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, just like my live commentary challenges that I've been doing for many years. And then I'm still going to be mixing tip videos in there. I want to, like, hammer that home for those people that aren't really into the live commentaries. There will still be tip videos mixed in. So, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll talk to you guys next time.